The last time the Chargers beat the Chiefs, by the way, at home was in 2013 when they were back in San Diego. So this has been...
Wait. I was on that team. Last time the Chargers beat the Chiefs... Oh, wait.
In 2013 in San Diego.
No. That was me.
No way!
I swear. I started that game. I swear.
Scoop City is brought to you by Thursday Night Football on Prime Video. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. I'm the Athletic Senior NFL Insider, Dianna Russini.
And I'm Chase Daniel, played 14 years in the National Football League.
Chase, 5 teams are undefeated. 3 are winless. And we've got a bunch of teams at a crossroad, right? Yeah. We've got teams trying to figure out what direction are they going in, right? We got the NFC South. We've got a big one this weekend between the Saints and the Falcons. We've also got the 49ers and the Pats. We've got the Eagles and the Bucks. We've got these teams where you just feel like this weekend's matchup is going to determine the direction they're going to go in and what they're going to look like come, let's just even say December. But we've got a big show coming up. We're going to get into a lot of conversations I've been having around the league this past week as we head into week 4, what everyone's been buzzing about, specifically with what's going on with Travis Kelce. That's really been a big topic. So I spent a lot of time digging in on that. And I know you watched a lot of tape of him from
ton of tape. His every snap he's played this year. I've watched.
Right. And then we have some quarterback questions, right? We know Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, both fighting hard to get back in to try to play. And the nation's capital right now is the happiest it's been in years after that Monday Night Football performance by Jayden Daniels. So it is so cool to see that city feel good.
It's buzzing. They're buzzing. You can tell from afar.
Yeah, and just knowing just the change in ownership and everything that they've been through, all the drama over these years to finally, it looks like they got the guy. They got the guy there. So
it doesn't. They definitely have the guy.
They've got the guy. Chicago's got the guy, despite little bit of a slow start. So I want to talk to you about that. I also want to focus a little bit more on what you're watching this weekend. I want to give you one football thing that you're paying attention to. Okay. And I want one thing in your life. You're everywhere. Like, you're the busiest person I know.
I'm so busy.
I want to know what you're keeping an eye on in your household coming up this weekend.
I'm busier off the field, Diana. I got 3 kids.
You're not on the field anymore, former football player?
Well,
that
the
was
field
really
is
cute
my
that you said
broadcasting
that.
career.
That's how you see it.
That's how I see it. That's how I tack it. With an enthusiasm unknown to mankind.
Speaking of retired players, former Buffalo Bill and New England Patriot running back Damien Harris, he just retired recently. So he joins the show, and we thought we'd bring him in on a conversation to really dive in to the Buffalo Bills and what Josh Allen and this 3-0 team is doing, and really what this Ravens team has been doing and how they're going to try to use this run game with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson and really preparing us for what the Buffalo Bills are in store for. So that's a really good conversation that we have coming up. But first, let's get to it. Here's what I'm hearing around the league. Chase, only the Kansas City Chiefs could be 3-0 coming off back-to-back Super Bowls. Yet the biggest story this past week has been the production, or at least the lack of production from superstar tight end Travis Kelce. Lots of questions about whether or not he's distracted, whether or not he's out of shape. Is he hurt? So I dug on it a bit, and it turns out he's in shape. It turns out he's healthy. Everything is fine, you know? And one of the more memorable conversations I had with someone in the Chiefs building about Travis Kelce right now has basically just been about what this offense looks like right now. In years past, especially last season, Travis Kelce has been the go-to receiver, the one guy that Patrick Mahomes trusts, the only guy Patrick Mahomes trusted. And now you're starting to see that he has options. Rashee Rice, who we talked about all summer long, right? Because remember how much buzz we were hearing coming out of that camp?
Diana. You were on Rashee Rice, truly.
People were saying, like, you have to see that he's really taken a step up in terms of what he's been doing. And so I wouldn't consider him a receiver that Mahomes completely trusts yet, but we're watching this evolve. We're watching this. So
no doubt.
the reason why that's important, of course, is because teams now have to worry about other weapons. They're not spending as much time concerned with what Travis Kelce can do. Of course, that'll change as we see some, backyard football type plays, and when the play breaks down, we'll see, the security blanket of Travis Kelce come in. What are you seeing from Travis when you're watching him on film?
Travis is open. He's open, and it's just the timing between Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce is a little bit off because it's taken a hair longer for Travis to get open, right? And I think Mahomes is trying out these new weapons or these new toys of his. Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice has a lot of targets. Isaiah Pacheco, before he fractured his leg, all these weapons were great. We haven't even seen Hollywood Brown. We probably won't this year. Who knows what's going to happen with him? And so all of a sudden you're looking at like Travis Kelce has 8 catches for 69 yards this season. He's averaging 8.6 yards a catch. And it's just like, well, where's Travis Kelce going? So I went back, I watched the film. I talked to some defensive coordinators around the league. And they tell me that they are game planning for Travis Kelce. What does that tell you? He's still feared around the league. When it comes to the Chiefs, it starts with Travis Kelce. And so Mahomes is not only looking at him because he is covered from the defensive standpoint. I think he's open. It's just taking him a little bit longer. He's looking at other places. And so when you see these weapons like Xavier Worthy, like Rashee Rice, and you told me it this morning, I'm going to steal your line. They're untapped. They don't know what's happening with it. And so I feel like when you get to a later stage in games, as they're coming up, you're going to see Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy take coverage away from Travis Kelce, and then Travis Kelce is going to go out. He's going to have 11 catches, 120 yards, and everyone's going to shut up about, is he washed, is he that, is he whatever.
Yeah, exactly. We're just at that time of year where it's not a concerning issue in the building. I can tell you that. Nobody there is worried about Travis Kelce. I appreciate you getting some scoop, by the way. Just reaching out to defensive coordinators around the league and getting us some intel. I love it. Thank you. But I have to continue to do my job. So I did it as well. I wonder if we hit up the same people. How great would that be? Like, look at these two idiots asking the same questions.
No, because can you imagine, like,
we should just group
some
chat.
random D coordinator, like, wait, Dianna just asked me this? Chase, what is he doing?
So similarly, right, so I spoke to a defensive coach that just faced the Chiefs. And he's like, look, Travis is in the discussion on every situation. It's not like he's not part of it.
So it's real.
Yeah, correct. So
that's amazing.
People also put such a premium on him to take him away, right? People are so focused on making sure Travis isn't a problem or a game wrecker. So my takeaway here is this may feel like a big issue, but it's not. And all that matters.
No.
Take away the attention, take away Taylor Swift, take away all the theories out there that, he's not focused. He's not doing what he needs to. None of that is true. And right now, this is just a slow start for a team that's finding itself. And they're going to catch stride and be a bigger problem on offense. And we're going to be laughing at this. We're going to be like, remember, we were worried about Travis Kelce. That was cute.
And the crazy thing is they're 3-0, Diana. And the head guy, right, Patrick Mahomes, has not even played very well. Like that's a scary thought to the team when to the league when Patrick Mahomes hasn't played well. I mean, he really hasn't. And then Travis Kelce only has 8 catches for 69 yards. They're still 3-0. Like, how do they? I just imagine the thought around the league is like, oh man, we better watch out.
And let's not forget what those guys told us over the summer. They know every team that's playing them is giving them their best.
Yep.
Their best day, right? It's not like you're playing
they
with
get their best
no
shot
energy.
every time.
Exactly. Everyone's like, let's go. They got the biggest target on their back. So they're not only winning and they're not even playing at a high level, they're winning against teams that are giving it everything and their best on every single play. You have to believe. So they're facing the Chargers. The Chargers have problems of their own, right? With Justin Herbert. We know he was dealing with that high ankle sprain. It was really quite the dramatic morning. We're waiting to see. You and I knew that he was going to do everything to play. But look, you never know.
bad, though.
That's why it was so difficult to report on that story on Sunday, because it did look bad, and you don't know with high ankle sprains, and you don't know about re-aggravation, and it appears he re-aggravated it. And so
he definitely
X-rays,
re-aggravated it, yeah.
MRI came back, and he is just going to keep doing what he's known to do, which is try to take care of this thing and try to get in there. But
I mean, he's the toughest dude. I would say he's one of the toughest quarterbacks I've ever played with, because in 2021, gosh, it was like so long ago when I played. I'm thinking, like, when did I play last? In 2021, my first year there, he tore up his ribs, right, against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I have no idea, Dianna, how he went back into that game and threw this two-man route down the middle of the field, and it was a perfect throw with cracked ribs and rib cartilage broken. The next week, I take all the snaps in practice. It was against the Jaguars. And I for sure thought I was playing. I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, all right, I get a start. Like, it's a good defense. Like, he comes to Saturday walkthrough, and he's spinning the ball. I'm like, how in the world? He's like, I'm playing. I'm like, no reps, you're playing? And then the second, the 2022, had some issues with his shoulder, his left shoulder. The dude's been fragile, but it's just like he can't seem to stay healthy.
I know. What a beast, though. And why do you...
He's
why
a
do you
beast.
Say, why do you say Jaguars?
Jaguars?
It's the Jaguars.
Jags. The London Jags?
Jaguars.
Jaguars.
They might as well be. The last time the Chargers beat the Chiefs, by the way, at home, was in 2013 when they were back in San Diego. So this has been...
Wait. I was on that team. Last time the Chargers beat the Chiefs...
They were at home in 2013 in San Diego.
No. That was me.
No way!
I swear. I started that game. I swear.
Did you finish
I started
it?
that game. Yeah, no, so what happened, it was the last game of the year. Phillip Rivers and the Chargers needed a win to get into the playoffs. So they played all their starters. Andy Reid, we'd already had the 4 seed or 5 seed taken care of because we weren't winning the division. He set every single starter, and he played all twos. So I played and started that entire game. I think I had 213 yards passing. My first NFL touchdown was in that game.
Oh
Ryan
Suckup,
our kicker, missed a 40-yard field goal as time was expiring to win it for us. And so they actually ended up winning and going to the playoffs because of that. So that doesn't even count. This stat's wrong because they didn't beat us. Like, that's BS, baloney. So come on.
This went
that was my first NFL start.
This went in a crazy direction because I bet you one of our producers, like Jeremy, will text us soon and be like, that was actually 2015. Chase was wrong year.
I promise you.
I hope this was
I know
it.
For a fact.
This is
that was my first
awesome.
start.
Totally unplanned. I really was just trying to give some context on what a big game this is for this Chargers team at home to try to finally beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And really the first crack for Harbaugh as the big boss here against the best coach in football. This to me, look, his quarterback's hurt. I get that. But I want to see him back here in just really a big showdown. So another big showdown we got is Jordan Love going up against the Vikings. He's trying to play. We don't know if he is for sure. But we're gonna know soon. But they've done this fun cat and mouse game for weeks about, is it going to be Malik Willis? But you've been saying the same thing since we've been discussing Jordan Love's injury, which is you think he should not play in this game.
No, I don't think he should play. I think it's too early. I think the timeline lines up. But when you have a superstar quarterback that you're paying a ton of money to, and he's not 100% healthy, I get the risk that NFL athletes take, but you're putting him onto a field that I don't think he's ready to be on. And he's probably pushing his agents. Who knows what his agents do? I mean, they go back and forth all the time. The team doctors for Green Bay are really conservative. If you're really that conservative and you care about the health of a player and the way Malik Willis has been playing. And this isn't like, there's no doubt about that. I think Jordan Love is like head and shoulders above Malik Willis. You got to give it to Malik Willis, especially the first game he handed the ball off. Josh Jacobs went for like 200, right? The second game, Malik Willis, they won because of Malik Willis. I think they can win this game with Malik Willis and Matt LaFleur drawing up an amazing game plan. I just think it's it's rare to have this issue and to rush a quarterback back like that.
See, the run game to me is obviously the priority when Malik Willis is in there. That's where they've had success. I know he was able to throw the ball really well against the Titans, but I just don't think the Green Bay Packers can have tremendous success on the ground against the Vikings. I don't know if that game plan can work. But I hear what you're saying about being conservative. And you know they want him back. They want Jordan Love back. As wonderful as Malik Willis. Look, you can say what you want. That Green Bay Packers building was shocked that Malik was able to do what he has been able to do. We've been
as
shocked.
They should be.
I've been having conversations all around the league. I could not find, and this is not a knock on Malik, but nobody came forward in my conversations and said, you know what, I think Malik is incredible. That Tennessee Titans staff wasn't able to get the best out of him. That was bad coaching.
He was an unknown.
No.
100%.
He never got an opportunity really in Tennessee because they had other quarterbacks there.
Imagine what situation, fit, and coaching can do to a young player. Malik Willis, Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur, let's freaking go. Start him again. I don't care what everyone else is saying. One more week.
You are on the Malik.
He's balling.
You're on the Malik hype train.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Well, let's keep taking the train across the country to the nation's capital, where the hype train is almost out of control.
You tweeted about it. The hype train.
Okay,
you mentioned it.
I did. So
you had some haters in your mentions too.
Oh my! Please, if you want to have fun, just so my
are people mean to you on the internet?
My sister-in-law does this as a hobby. She thinks it's so fun. She has a glass of wine, opens up her computer, and reads my comments. Great. She thinks it's the funniest thing.
Do you read your comments?
Of course I do.
Do you reply to anyone?
No, you do. I don't. No, I don't like to give anyone any power.
So why is it buzzing though? What about the city is buzzing other than Jayden Daniels? Is it just because him?
No, so there's a couple things, right? First of all, I was a sports anchor in Washington for years. So
I know that.
I've had a lot of jobs, so I thought maybe I'd remind you. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, by the way, that I've had a lot of jobs.
You're well traveled. So have I. I've been playing for a lot of teams.
Being a sports anchor is a lot like being a quarterback. You kind of, especially if you're not a starter, right? You move around a lot, you know. I worked my way up, and here I am now, the host of Scoop
Love
City.
that. Let's go.
But I was in Washington during those Kirk Cousins, Robert Griffin III years, so there was tons of drama. I will never in my lifetime, and I feel very comfortable saying this, see anything like that. There will never be anything like that. In fact,
I can't wait to hear it. We should do a whole episode on that.
We should, because my friend Mike Silver just wrote a book about all of this. So he's actually going to join Scoop City coming up over the next few weeks. Wait till you hear about some of the things that happen behind the scenes. So the reason why I felt very comfortable after this big Monday night win for the Washington Commanders to tweet that I know Washington, D.C. is buzzing, and I live in New Jersey, I'm not even there, is because I know what it felt like. I lived in 7 cities. I know what that city feels like when they win. And the fact that they're winning and they got the guy. They've got the guy, right? Yeah. The last time they felt like this was when Robert was there and simply electrified that place. So, look, I want to I feel like everyone has to take a deep breath on this conversation about Jayden Daniels having success and Caleb Williams struggling. I want to start there because I think a lot of people are looking at this draft class and they're going, oh, look, it's Bryce Young, CJ Stroud part 2. We are not there. We're not even
it's
gonna.
Such a dumb narrative.
It's a dumb narrative, and I'll let you go first. Why don't you tell me why you think this is stupid?
I don't think Jayden Daniels' success has anything to do with Caleb Williams, right, wrong, and different. I think they're two completely different situations, and both are going to be good quarterbacks. Both are going to be great quarterbacks. I really feel like that. People are like, how do you know it's only 3 games? I just have a feeling watching quarterback play that those two are special. And I thought that coming out of the draft and the prep that I did on the draft, I watched a lot of film on Jayden Daniels and Caleb Williams. I thought that Jayden Daniels was the more polished passer. He's leading the league in completion percentage right now. He is. The first 2 games took him a little bit. He was running the football quite a bit. But I went back and I was like, why is he running the football? Because I didn't like seeing that, because I didn't see that at LSU. And I saw that because stuff wasn't open. And it really, that Cliff Kingsbury offense wasn't clicking yet, and it finally got clicking against the Bengals. And I just see a guy in Jayden who knows how to go through progressions. Just sweep the board. Progressions is like, is number 1 open receiver, throw it. If he's not, go to number 2. Go to number 3, go to number 4. I had never broken down someone in college that I had seen do that at such a clip that was really impressive. The reason it's translating to the NFL is because guess what? Cliff Kingsbury, he does run a college offense. He does. And it's not a slight. It is incorporating bits and pieces of what LSU did so well with Jayden Daniels, and they're taking it to the next level. They're not asking him to do all this Mike ID stuff at the line of scrimmage or to tell the offensive line who they're going to or do protections. He's dropping back. He's got half-field reads, and he's taken off. He's doing RPOs. He's doing run game. It's really calmed him down because he's playing fast, but he's not playing sped up.
There's a difference. You said that quickly, but there's a difference because it's been pointed out to me as well. So I made some calls to Washington to just kind of get an idea of how they see this. Why are they having success now? First of all, his ability to process information is unbelievable. I've not only heard this from the Commanders, I've heard this from other teams during the draft process, right? So this has been a consistent quality about him that makes him great. It's why he went number 2, and it's why there's other coaches who thought he should have gone 1, right? So his ability to process will begin there. The college offense slight, we'll call it, that some are saying is not a slight because it was explained to me so simply, and I think it's important to emphasize that this is not as common as you would think. The Washington Commanders are giving Jayden an offense and plays that he's comfortable running. They are literally going back to the LSU tape and finding stuff he did well and then using it in their offense.
Okay, so I'm seeing what you're hearing. I'm seeing what you're hearing.
But do you understand, though,
how simple? It's simple. It's simple.
That is.
It's not hard. It's not rocket science.
Let's take this conversation, though, and apply it to Chicago, all right?
Yep.
Because we both know that this offense is more structured, right? What is you tell me? What does Caleb do well? Like in one sentence, what makes Caleb great?
Caleb is the best at getting out of the pocket when stuff breaks down and making stuff happen.
Off script, right? Off script offense is the type of thing that made him sing, and he's tremendous. And when I spoke to people in Chicago, there's no doubt in his ability and what he can do. There's just a few items in this offense that are just a little off for this to work as he's taking a step from playing this type of offense in college to a pro-style offense. This is way more pro-style than what we're seeing in Washington. So when I tell you that Chicago tells me there's a couple things off, what are some of the things that you're seeing? And I'll tell you if that's what they're telling me too.
Well, I will say it, but it's very bad offensive line play. They are not doing a good job at protecting him. And I said Jayden Daniels was playing fast, not sped up, okay? Caleb Williams is playing fast, and he's sped up because of that offensive line. I'm going to be real with you. Like, it's just not good.
He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to do that.
He doesn't want to be. And the second thing that I've seen is there's zero run game. Like it's not even, like, close to a run game. You go and pay DeAndre Swift a lot of money, and I don't necessarily put it all on him, but I think he has, like, 70 yards rushing on the year. And the third thing is there's no Keenan Allen the past 2 games. Defenses are playing 2 high safeties against the Chicago Bears because there's no underneath guys on offense that can separate. It's not Cole Kmet. It's not Gerald Everett. It's not DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. Keenan Allen is that guy. He's an extension of the run game. So I think that really matters. I just want to see Caleb stop pressing. And pressing meaning like trying to make the throw when it's not there. I literally just I did a quarterback breakdown of Caleb Williams, and I broke down 14 plays, and 6 of them were him throwing the ball, trying to fit it in a tight window, and then something bad happening. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, take off, run, take the 2-3 yard gain. Defenses are going to make him. This is the NFL. Defenses are going to make him be patient. Caleb's not good at being patient. He's never had to be patient his entire life. You watch the USC film in the last two years, it's one read, scramble, long play, touchdown, highlight film, Caleb Williams hype, let's go, Trojans, like all this. They can't do that in the NFL. Just take the game as it comes to you.
It sounds like all of this is sort of being compounded, right? So you have a lot of these issues that are coming together, and it's become a challenge early on in the season. I believe they're going to iron this out as they adjust it, but it is very interesting to me to just see two organizations with two excellent quarterbacks, and which team is figuring out how to get the best out of them now. And we'll see if this continues.
Wait. What are the two things you heard? Am I right? Am I seeing what you're hearing?
You're seeing what I'm hearing.
Two for two.
The part that you brought up that I've been hearing tons about, and it is that obvious statement of what, and we talked about it last show about the addition of Keenan Allen. He's got Caleb has nobody. And Keenan gives him that type of ability. He's not the speed guy, but he's going to create opportunity for him. And I do believe that we're going to see a better Chicago offense this weekend. All right, still to come on the show, Damien Harris, the former Buffalo Bill, joins the show, and we will wrap up the show later with what we are paying attention to. Just one thing in football. We'll be right back. Back here on Scoop City with the Buffalo Bills absolutely red hot right now, 3-0, getting ready for a big Sunday night game against the Baltimore Ravens. We decided to have a former Buffalo Bill running back and a former New England Patriot running back, Damien Harris, join the show to give his take on what he's seeing from Josh Allen and this Bills offense and how this team has been able to set themselves up for success this year. All right, obviously you played with the Buffalo Bills, so you've got great experience in just understanding the culture there, everything from the way Sean McDermott does it down to, the way Josh Allen wants to lead this team. He joined Scoop City over the summer, and he was talking a lot about how he feels like he just has less pressure on him right now with this offense because there's not a lot of superstars here. What are you seeing from Josh yourself compared to what you saw when you were playing with him?
I see exactly what you just said. He's playing really free right now because there's not guys that he knows he needs to get the ball to. And when I say that, I want to emphasize that that's not because there were guys in the past who were demanding the ball, people who were prima donnas. If they didn't get the ball, things didn't go their way. No, but there is a little bit of a hierarchy in these NFL locker rooms of, okay, here's our guy. Here's who we need to get the ball to. Here's the next guy we need to get the ball to. Here's the next, there's that list. So Josh being the quarterback and Josh knowing, okay, I've got to get this guy the ball. I've got to get this guy the ball. That might have affected his play a little bit. Now he's playing with a bunch of guys, and he said it perfectly after the most recent game. He's playing with a bunch of guys that don't care who get the touchdowns, who don't care who get the yards. All they care about is contributing to a W at the end of the day. So as a quarterback, granted, I never played the position, but I've got to imagine that being such a freeing feeling because, one, I don't have to worry about I've got to get this guy a certain amount of touches or I'm going to feel like I'm not putting him in a position to be successful, or I'm not utilizing his talent, or because the game plan calls for that. No, I can just go out and play free and just throw to the open guy. Whoever's doing their job, whoever's open on that play, I can get them the ball. Hell, if nobody's open, then I can just do what I do best, which is be Josh Allen. So I really think that this team that they've built around him and some of the young guys that they've brought in, some of the older veteran guys that they've brought in, they've really kind of culminated this team to just be about a bunch of guys who don't care. Nobody cares about who gets the praise. Nobody cares about who gets their name in the paper. I think of a guy like Mac Hollins, who his whole career, he's just been a guy that just brings his lunch pail to work and just shows up and does the dirty work. Yeah. Doesn't get a ton of recognition. Yeah, shoeless at that, eating with his bare hands.
It's true.
Look, the secret sauce, in my opinion, is Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator.
Oh, my God.
Ken Dorsey
those guys, I've said this before. Josh Allen and Joe Brady go together like peanut butter and jelly. Like, it is.
Hey,
it is
okay,
beautiful.
good. Then you'll be able to answer this because I'm glad that you think that because I definitely do. Mm-hmm. But when Ken Dorsey was fired week 10, I think he was fired last year. Mm-hmm. And then Joe Brady comes in. What was that like for the players in the locker room? Because when you look at the stats, the last 10 games that Joe Brady has called offensive plays, they're 9-1. They rank first in yards per game. They rank first in rush attempts a game. They rank third in third down conversion. They rank first in record. Why does that relationship work from the inside? Take me inside that locker room. What changed with you guys.
We all loved Ken. Like, he was a great coach.
Yeah.
He was super smart. He was very personable. Like, I remember when I signed with Buffalo, I went to dinner with him, Skip, the running back coach, and we just sat and talked. And I thought he was the coolest guy, but there was an overwhelming sense, through the first 10 weeks of the season of, we're not really as good as we should be. Like, we're not performing as well as we should be. And as somebody who spent not a lot of time around those guys, when I looked at Josh and just kind of analyzed, because I'm a big analytical person. Like, I like to analyze every situation. When I looked at Josh, it just seemed like maybe the plays weren't being called the way that he wanted. Maybe the certain situations, there weren't calls that he liked. He wasn't able to, I don't know. I just feel like there just was something that, there was something that wasn't clicking. And I think personality does have a lot to do with that, because when I look at Ken Dorsey and his personality, he's more of like an evil genius, like a mad scientist. Very, very, very smart, a little quirky.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Usually those types are a little, they're a little peculiar. Right?
Yeah, very, very peculiar. But Josh is literally the world's biggest, strongest, fastest toddler. Like, I swear. Like, he's so playful. He loves to joke. He loves to have a good time. He loves to be laid back.
Keep it light.
Yeah, and when you're a guy that's that talented and that can win you games at the level that Josh Allen can, if he wants it a little bit relaxed and a little bit loose, that's the ride. Yeah. That's the wave you've got to ride, because, again, like, we're not talking about just your average quarterback in the NFL. We're talking about the MVP frontrunner this year. We're talking about the best quarterback, obviously outside of Patrick Mahomes, in the NFL right now. So if that's what he wants, that's what you got to give him. And then that's what Joe Brady is. Joe Brady's cool. He's as cool as the other side of the pillow. And he coached in LSU, so he's been with guys who have that superstar nature, but he's been a part of those cultures where it's like, man, we just show up and we play ball. We some ball players. Show up, man. It don't matter what you call. Just call. Let us pick what we run. Let us call the plays, because whatever you put on the call sheet, we gonna make it work. Well, Joe Brady is the type of person to look at Josh Allen and be like, oh, okay, well, shoot, what you want to run then? If any plays gonna go, if you're that good, tell me what you like, and I'll call it. And I think that that's been evident. Something that shows me that is, look at the emergence of Jimbo Cook. Like, Jimbo is cooking right now. And Jimbo is one of Josh Allen's guys. Jimbo is a guy that Josh Allen is like, if I'm going to be the best version of myself, we got to get this dude going. In the pass game, in the run game, we got to spring this dude loose, because he's going to make life a lot easier on me, a lot easier on Keon Coleman, who's a rookie, a lot easier on Khalil Shakir, who doesn't have a ton of experience. Same with Dalton Kincaid. Like, it's obvious that Joe Brady is getting James Cook involved, and that's because Josh Allen wants him involved. So I think Joe just does a great job of matching personalities and ultimately fully handing over the reins to Josh Allen, because if there's 3 or 4 guys in the league, Josh is at the top of that list of, like, if he wants stuff called, call it. If he wants to do this, do it.
Yeah. Damien, just, from the reporter perspective and covering you guys so much, there was always a vibe that I was getting out of Buffalo that felt a little heavy at times. It always felt like something was brewing. And fortunately, it really never got out, right? It was always kept in-house. The Buffalo does a really good job as an organization, I think, of just keeping their business in-house. But it was obvious to anyone covering the team that something was off, And did you feel that when you were there?
I did. I did.
And was it a culmination of just coming off the DeMar Hamlin situation that was heavy on you guys or heavy on the organization, and
right?
What like, how would, when you think of the 2023 year, how do you describe it?
An emotional roller coaster, and for a lot of the reasons why you just said. I mean, people don't understand. Like, when you look at DeMar Hamlin's situation, everybody obviously looks at how that affected him, his psyche, his physical ability to step back on the field, which he's done a tremendous job being able to come back and play, but I think people forget how much of a toll that took on these guys, because I guarantee you, every guy that sat there on that field was, while they were looking and praying for DeMar, they were sitting here thinking in the back of their minds, this could be me. This could be me at any given moment. Hell, I was sitting there thinking that, and I was playing in New England at the time. So I think and again, I'm not because I was a new guy, so I'm not going to sit here and say this is what the problems were. It's just kind of how it felt to me. Maybe that could have been a little bit of a part of it. I think that there was a lot of uncertainty about what the relationship with Josh and Stephon actually looked like behind closed doors. Because again, like, I was a part of the team, and what happened between Josh and Steph, you know, whatever they talked about, however they worked their situation out, that was all handled between them two and Coach McDermott. And we had no idea how that went. I had no clue. So I think that a little bit of uncertainty on how that relationship actually was, because everybody thought it was great, but you could, like you said, Dianna, people could tell that something just wasn't clicking. So I think the lack of certainty, and again, once we talk about the offensive lack of production the first 10 weeks, I shouldn't really call it a lack of production. I would really say, compared to the standard of what was expected, a lack of production.
I'll call it a lack of production for you. There was no production. Like, you don't have to, like.
I was going to say we were still winning some games. Now we were still winning some games.
We speak the truth. There's a reason why the offensive coordinator got fired. It wasn't good enough.
Call a spade a spade. Well, yes, a lack of production. I think that those were just some things that made it look like at times we just didn't really have a rhythm. And we've got this team full of superstars. Obviously, one of the best players in the league at quarterback, one of the best players in the league at receiver, some of the best players in the league on defense. But it just seemed like something wasn't quite clicking. So I think that, you know, all of those things, all of the things that I just identified are things that people may look at and be like, oh, well, you can't let these things be distractions. Well, when this is your job, when this is your 9 to 5, Monday through literally Sunday, and you don't get any breaks, like, you're invested in all of this stuff. The situation, like I said, that happened with DeMar, like, that was a thing that people aren't going to be able to shake off of them for a long, long time. Yes, he's playing now, and he is, you know, praise be to God that he is on the field making plays, but like, people are going to remember that forever. So there were just a lot of things that I feel like might have just left people a little uncertain, and we were just half stepping a lot of things, you know, for the first 10 weeks.
Let's talk about the matchup this weekend with Buffalo Bills. They're playing the Ravens. It's the first real matchup, real defense they played. I was doing some research. The first 3 defenses. It
is. We call a spade around here. It's our first good defense they're playing. The
first 3 defenses that they've played, the Bills, it was like 23rd, 18th, and 20th ranked in the NFL. The Ravens are good. Ravens are first in rush defense. They're allowing 50 rushing yards a game, so James Cook got to get going. But on the other side of that field, Derrick Henry, your former teammate, what are you seeing out of him so far this year?
Well, he's doing exactly what we thought he would do in Baltimore. People looked at the first game against Kansas City, and rightfully so, complained that he just didn't get the ball enough. Harbaugh came out and said, well, we didn't bring him in to be a guy that's going to run for, you know, he's not going to get 25 touches. We already have an identified plan. We just are trying to fit him into that plan. Well, look what he just did last week.
Balling.
Look what he just did.
Dude, look, they ran for 274 against Dallas.
Exactly. So to me, you've got to give this guy the ball. Like, I don't care what your offensive philosophy is. I don't care if you think, like, listen, we're already good. If it ain't broke, don't break it. Why? If you brought Derrick Henry in to be a red zone running back, you're doing yourself a huge disservice, and you're basically going into a fight with one arm tied behind your back because you're not utilizing your greatest punch. So to me,
Chase got mad at me because I called Derrick a little clunky last week. I said, I don't know. Sometimes
I would have been pissed too. I would have been pissed off too.
He's the king for a reason, man. Crown him. Let's go.
Yeah, this guy, listen, the career that this guy has had is no mistake. It's not a fluke. It is not a facade. He is the real deal Holyfield. Because of the way that he trains, because of the way that he approaches the game, because of his professionalism, obviously, I mean, we haven't seen many 6'5", 260-pound backs be able to do what he does. Huge. But the way that he approaches the game has allowed him to stay successable and still be able to put up numbers like this for so long, year in and year out. So if I'm John Harbaugh, and I have never coached before, so I'm not sitting here trying to give any advice like I've coached.
What would you do? Tell us. What would you do, Damien?
Give him the ball.
Feed him the rock, bro.
Give him the ball. Why
Let
not?
him eat.
Because listen, I guarantee
takes the pressure off Lamar.
Thank you. Lamar Jackson right now is on pace to set a single season record for most rushing yards by a quarterback for yards per game, because I think he's sitting at around like 89 rushing yards per game right now this season. The more you run Derrick Henry, the more Lamar Jackson is going to be able to run the ball with less hits, with less carries. Because I'm telling you, any team who is any defensive coordinator, they're going to want to stop Derrick Henry first. Because I'm telling you, there's a difference between when Lamar runs and when Derrick runs. When Lamar runs, he's running for big plays. He's getting big chunks. It looks pretty. When Derrick runs, he's literally making your D linemen tired, your linebackers tired. Every time your safeties have to come up and tackle him, like that is a huge blow to their body. So they're not going to be as fast getting in the deep part of the field. Corners aren't going to want to come up and tackle this guy. Like, you got to get this guy the ball and let him just work the defense, and then let the world just become so much easier for Lamar. It makes perfect sense to me. I don't know.
People who listen to Scoop City know I have an obsession with workout videos. Like, anytime players do they post their work, it used to annoy me. Like, okay, we get it. You're working out. We get it. Right? Then I was like, wait, I'm going to lean into this and be inspired. Now I just like compete or put them up against each other, and who has the toughest workouts, and it's always Derek.
Always. Have you guys watched
He does the most ridiculous things. He puts like a Mack truck on his back and runs up a hill. I'm like, I'll text him. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? But he that's who he is. And
the first time I got an example of that was when I was at Bama. And so, Bama Tuesday, Wednesday practices were full pads, and it was a bloodbath. Like, it was a bloodbath at practice. But you know what Derrick Henry would do right after he took his shoulder pads off? He'd go straight in the weight room and squat 550 pounds. As soon as,
Dude's built different.
Wouldn't go to the locker room, wouldn't put no weightlifting shoes on. I'm talking take the shoulder pads off, still got his practice pants on, barefoot, squatting 550 pounds. And that was, as a freshman, when I saw that, I was like, yo, I'm not doing enough. Like, I gotta do more.
He set the standard. Yeah, he set the standard. All right, so you took us into it. Before we let you go, you played for both Nick Saban and Bill Belichick. Both of the GOATs are doing broadcasting. Evaluate their broadcast career to date like they would evaluate you. Don't hold back. Who's doing it better?
Nick Saban, definitely. Bill's too bland, man.
Dry. He's dry.
I watch him on Monday Night Football with the Mannings, and he's dry, man. Like, Peyton's leaned up, and he's like, Brandon Ayuk, you weren't in training camp, you didn't get the reps, you're dropping the ball on TV on an opening week, and Bill's just sitting there like,
I think it's because he's got one foot in the media and one foot in trying to get back in, right?
So you know what? You're probably right, Diana. You're probably right, because I'm sure if he gets too analytical on anybody on any given game, that could affect relationships as far as coaching opportunities. So, you're probably right. But listen, aside from him, Coach Saban is killing it, man. And I'm honestly surprised that he survived on game day with Pat McAfee as long as he has. Because I know you guys have seen the video of McAfee.
Them vibing. He's vibing.
And then Coach Saban's just looking at him like, let me
what are you doing?
Scoot over here. But nah, man, I love seeing Coach Saban he really, to me, between the two of them, Coach Saban looks more in his element, because he looks like he's done coaching.
He's crushing it.
He's done, that phase of that chapter of his story is over. Now broadcasting is his main thing, and he's really leaned into it. He's dove into it. When I do my pregame shows with CBS, I'm always seeing on my Twitter or on Instagram, in between our segments of him singing Country Roads when they're in West Virginia, or singing Rock Me Mama Like a Wagon Wheel. You know what I mean? He just looks like he's really enjoying every minute of it. Where Bill's half-stepping a little bit. He's still got his eye on a coaching return.
For sure. All right, last question. I think you know what you're going to say. I think I know. But who you got this weekend? Georgia, Alabama?
I've thought long and hard about this, honestly. You may not believe me, but I've thought long and hard about this, because I'm trying to decide, is Bama going to win by 14 or is Bama going to win by 40? I don't know. Either way, I got Bama in this game. Georgia doesn't stand a chance. It's at Bryant-Denny. This is two Titans in college football facing off. And I said this before. This game has nothing to do with playoff implications, because unless a team loses by 40, which it'll only be Georgia, unless one of the teams loses by that much, you're not going to slide much. You're still going to be in the playoff. You're going to be fine. This game is this is Alabama. This is Georgia. We've seen the history in the past couple of years. Who was the only team to beat Georgia in the past, 2 years, 2 or 3 seasons? It's been Alabama.
Bama.
Right? Who's been the team that's knocked Alabama out of winning more national championships? It's been Georgia. Who have been two of the greatest coaches in college football in recent years. Granted, Kalen DeBoer is there now, but he's even somebody that's in that conversation. But Nick Saban, Kirby Smart. Like, Kirby Smart went to Georgia and built an Alabama B team, essentially.
Yeah.
He created our entire formula, which I shouldn't say he stole it, because Kirby was very much a part of what built Alabama. Yeah. He just took what he brought to it and he turned it into Alabama B. So this is very much this is about pride. This is about bragging rights. This is about, it's no bigger than if you're a college football fan, if you're a fan of football and you want to turn the TV on Saturday night and you want to see the who's of college football, you want to see the best players in college football, the two most dynamic teams, two of the most physical teams up front, two teams that are known for having stifling defense, two teams that are known for running the ball, two teams that are known for having great quarterback play, two teams that are known for having great receivers. If you want to see who is the who's who in college football, you turn on Bama, Georgia in Bryant-Denny, 6:30 Saturday.
I'm fired
night.
up, man. Let's go.
Man, I just canceled my anniversary dinner plans.
Let me say it again in case y'all didn't hear me. And the Tide always rolls.
Oh, okay. All right. He is the co-host of the Athletics College Football Show until Saturday, now a resident of Scoop City. Damien, thanks so much for joining us. You're welcome back anytime. Like and subscribe, baby. Thanks.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you, guys.
All right, back here on Scoop City. So with so many big games coming up this weekend, there's so much to take in, right? Now that you are observing and watching as a fan/analyst, have you figured out your setup with the TVs? Like how
I got a nice little setup. I got a good setup. So we have a room. We have a room in our house, and it has a big screen, like not like a movie theater size screen, but like a projector screen thing. Not like, it's not a TV, and so the projector screen thing has 4 quadrants, but it's just one big thing, and there's a projector that goes onto it that splits it into 4 quadrants. And I have Sunday Ticket, like every other crazy football fan. And what's cool, and I didn't even know this till like a couple weeks ago. And I've been in this house. We've been in this house for like 3 years. That of the 4 quadrants, I could have the top left quadrant can have 4 games in it. The top right quadrant can have 4 games in it. And then I can have red zone on the bottom right. And I can have the game I really want to watch in the bottom left. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, this might be the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
That is
it's actually, I didn't even know you could do it.
That sounds like the ESPN and War Room. So after the
I
show,
didn't
we
know
would
I could do it.
hang out all together and we would look up at the screen, at least the analysts. I would be at a game. That's awesome. So, all right, on the 97 games that you're going to have up on the projector at one time, what's the one thing you want to see, or that you're looking forward to, or you're curious about? And I know it's hard because it's got to be one.
It's because I got 2.
You got to make one.
One. I mean, we talked about it earlier in the show, and it might sound crazy, but I want to see what Caleb Williams looks like after the success he had last week. And I say success because he threw for a lot of yards, right? He threw for 364 yards. But I'm mainly going to be watching I care about what Caleb Williams does. I'm mainly going to be watching Shane Waldron. He's going to be under my microscope a little bit. How do you get your rookie quarterback on the same page as you? How do you get your rookie quarterback comfortable? I think he needs to be in shotgun more. I think there needs to be RPO, run pass options more. I think on early downs he needs to get him out of the pocket more. I think he needs to throw to Keenan Allen more, but it doesn't matter what I think. I'm going to be pretty harsh on him in a quarterback breakdown if he does not do things that suit Caleb Williams well.
All right, if he's doing these things and you're listening, message us on Twitter or on YouTube. And,
everyone, come on.
Let us know, hey, we're seeing it, because we want to start interacting with you guys more. We have so many people listening now, and we want you guys to feel part of it, and we want to talk more football with you. So feel free to reach out. Yeah. Just be nice in the messages. Some people are so hard on me.
Trolls.
Tell
them what they are.
Okay. Max Crosby's dealing with the high ankle sprain. He took some plays off last week. Max. Max could be 20%. He's going to play, right? So he's not practicing this week. I think he was like in and out. Max is going to be out there. Max Crosby will be playing. What I want to see, though, I want to see the Cleveland Browns run the ball.
Oh, preach.
This Cleveland team needs a spark. They need some life. They've got some issues and injuries and things on the offensive line that we are well aware of at this point. But it is obvious that Deshaun Watson needs some support on offense. He needs it. So run the ball. They have Deonta Foreman, who 2 years ago was averaging 4.6 carries a game. He had a career year just 2 years ago. We're not talking 5. He can do the job. So to me, I'm going to watch to see if Kevin Stefanski is going to go, I'm not forcing this. I'm not going to try to make Deshaun throw the ball as much as we want him to throw the ball like we saw him do in Houston. And look, we know Deshaun came out saying he doesn't want to run the ball. Well, unfortunately, you're paid a lot of money to play the quarterback position, and you're going to be asked to do things to put this team in a position to succeed. And if running and scrambling a little bit is going to get this offense going, I want to see it. So the ground game in Las Vegas, the Cleveland Browns, and the Raiders is what I'm going to be watching for.
I'm going to watch that too.
All right, so that's our football one thing that we are keeping an eye on. What's your one life thing that you
Do I got to go first?
I'll take this one.
Okay, please.
My eyes are on the toilet in my house. We are trying to get Michael potty trained.
How old is he?
So he just turned 3. So he's a little late.
Y'all are early.
Early?
No, we waited.
We're late.
Our son was not. I mean, depends on how you see it. Our son was not ready, so we waited a little bit longer.
So Mikey's ready.
So you're doing good, Mom.
He alerts us. He tells us, but he just can't land the plane. So my eyes will be on the bathroom and the carpet and the kitchen floor and the bathroom's floor.
Is he doing? Wait. Is he doing that? Is he doing that? Hey, what did y'all do? Did y'all just like fully pants off, like go pee in the big potty, or do you have a small potty?
We have a small potty. He's scared of the big one. He freaks out.
Oh, really?
You know what's funny though? My little guy, my 1-year-old, he's better about it all. He tells me. He walks over to it. It's just funny how like every kid is different. Second kid, tough guy. What about you?
That's a good one. My daughter is 4.5. She looks like a 6-year-old though. She's really tall. She's like 99th percentile in height and 85th percentile in weight. She's just tall. And I'm actually like right after this taking her to. We have competitive soccer, and we never really were like we're not like those type of family that just like takes our kids to like all these competitive events. It's like when they want to go, we'll take them. So she's going to this, but then she has a soccer game this Saturday, and it'll be her 3rd game. And Dianna, I'm not just telling you this because I'm a proud dad. She is an absolute beast.
Oh,
like
let's go.
She is. You would be proud of her.
Give me the brag.
You would be proud of her because like it's so impressive. She's so different than my son. My son is a little bit like more like he's athletic, but he's very just like calm and just like doesn't want to like jump in. She'll go and like slide tackle a girl who's 4 who doesn't barely even know how to dribble a ball. She's got that too, like that it factor. So maybe I'll take some videos of her, but she's like, the first game she scored like 3 goals. The second game she scored 4 goals. What? I'm trying to get her to be more aggressive to steal the ball from the other girls. So we'll see how that goes. The fact that you're
even at that level is tremendous. Yeah, definitely send me some videos. I love that. I always think it's a good sign too when it's early and they're already showing.
It's you would be impressed.
Got some skills.
It's cool.
I witnessed some 3-year-old soccer this weekend. Let's just say that boys were out on the field and Michael was running to the car. So embrace the athleticism in your family because I don't think I'm having it in this household.
That's funny.
All right, before we go, I know I asked you the other day about your top 5 front offices in the NFL. Well, The Athletic published a new article. What we basically did is we spoke to 40 different front office executives around the league, and we had each of them rank the others. So we got to really hear and see what guys that make these decisions and what they do in the front office to kind of hear who they think is spectacular. So I'm going to tell you the one to remind you. You said the best front offices in football are the Chiefs, the Steelers, the 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Bills.
I feel
that was
pretty
just
good
based.
About that.
You should. Those are from your experiences, and those are from just your friendships and conversations in football, right? Well, the Athletics front office survey says the Ravens, the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Lions.
Oh,
So
okay. The Lions are a good one. I forgot about the Lions.
That is a really good one. That snuck right on in there. I thought
Ravens,
Houston would pop in there. I saw the Jets actually got a few votes
they
there.
didn't.
Well,
No,
they
they
got the Aaron
didn't.
Rodgers deal done. They got the Rodgers deal done. You have to give that to them, and we'll see what Aaron does against his Denver Broncos team. But so Chase, in other words, you should work in a front office. That's
I would
what I'm
love
saying.
to.
No, you're too busy. You got enough going on. All right, that'll do it for us here on Scoop City. We will see you guys next week. Thanks so much for hanging out. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys. Tag me next time.
Thanks for tuning into Scoop City. If you want to hear more, make sure you like and subscribe. We drop our new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.